In this video, I show you this mixed media technique in which I use a translucent, a red and a neon pink oil pastel and watercolors.
Boom!
I was working in my journal the other day and I was drawing dolls with crayons, and all of a sudden this page was born, and I really liked the line work with the red, pink and the glowing effect. I was filling old pages in this really old journal. This is a journal that is about 7 years old now, and because I do not work chronologically in my journals, but I tend to switch pages, there are always pages in between that aren't finished yet, and I feel that it's time to really complete this journal. So I'm going over the pages that I think need something, and yeah, quickly fill the pages so that hopefully this year I can make a flip through video of this journal. But then I was creating this and I thought this is really nice as a short tutorial for you guys, because here I use that resist technique again that I showed you in last video. And I don't want to make videos just yet where I make something from start to finish. I don't know if I'm going to do that at all. It is requested a lot, by the way, to show you from start to finish how I do things. But yeah, since I often work with backgrounds that I created earlier, that is not really possible for me. Of course, I can try to recreate things, but a lot of things happen by accident, and yeah, I can't really recreate the spontaneous look of all those blotches, then it would be a bit too forced. But I thought I can show you the steps how I created this, because I drew this directly on a background that already existed, and it was fairly easy. So I'm going to show you it in this journal, and obviously you need some kind of background with acrylics. Let me see where I can still do this. Yeah, maybe this one. Not too busy. Yeah, perhaps this one is good. So you need some kind of background where you already did something on with acrylic paint, and maybe you also added some texture with collage with papers or tapes, and maybe some scratching with pencils like here. I think I prefer to add a layer of clear gesso on this right now, because I feel that this is really smooth, and I can work directly with oil pastels on the acrylic, but because I'm also going to use watercolor, I feel that it's prettier to first make a layer of clear gesso. A flat brush. This is really my go-to technique since forever, I guess. Leave this to dry. I'm using a lot of different brands. The best ones are by Sennelier, but these are really expensive oil pastels, but they have a lot of pigment, so they're really smooth, soft, almost like lipstick, but they are crazy expensive. They're also by Talens, the Panda crayons, and Van Gogh, also by Talens, are nice crayons. Sakura has the Crepa Junior Artist crayons, but I know that there are many other brands out there, like for example the Jackson Oil Pastels. They're probably more easy to get in the USA, but you can use the cheaper brands as well for this, but they often have less pigment. These are pretty nice actually. Yeah, they're just a little harder, less soft than the those oil pastels. They're more waxy, I guess. Yeah. So what I did on that page that I'm going to recreate now is I first drew something with a red oil pastel on the background. Then I used the translucent one. No, sorry. First I used the neon one. Neon. So yeah, first the red, then the neon pink, and then the translucent one. Where is it? Where is it? Here, this one. It looks white, but it is colorless. It's a colorless oil pastel, and that's really nice to use. You don't see it obviously because it is colorless, but I make a sort of smoochy circle around this. And next what I did is I went over it with a watercolor around it actually. I'm going to show you it with this black one. So like this. That's it. So I use that same resist technique that I showed you in the last video, but now it's more onto the background. So you can imagine that when I do this on a background, you see the background coming through where there is the translucent crayon. And that is really nice to play with. So let me show you. Just drawing something. On the other page I gave the doll an arm, but I feel that's going to be really weird, so I guess I'm just going to use this page to draw another doll, so they can have a sort of conversation with each other, shouting at each other. I feel that there is a lot of anger in this world, and that is probably why I draw these angry figures, maybe to express my own anger, but also because that is something that I see a lot in the news. Often angry people. There are a lot of angry people. Yeah, that is something that I like to express in my journals. So that's the red one. I think I used a darker red on the other page. This one is a bit more vibrant red. I think this page is going to be a lot more pinkish than the other one because there is already more pink in the background. I don't want it to be too pink, so I only go over the sides a bit. It's more that it's as if it's sort of radioactive kind of red. even though it says colorless, it has some bit of sort of white. I think that the waxy, oily product in this is a bit white already. So I think that was it. Now it's really nice because it's a resist, and I'm going to add watercolor. You can play a bit by making some marks with the crayon on the background, because you make that resist technique. Okay, so next I'm going to add a watercolor. This is really interesting because it's a undefined color by Daniel Smith. I filled it in a tin, so it's a complete tube of Daniel Smith because I use this color a lot. It's the Shadow Violet by Daniel Smith, and it's a really undefined weird color that has a purple violet. That's probably why it's called violet, Shadow Violet. It has some purples and blues, bits of green perhaps, maybe. It's highly granulating, but I really like it for as a warm shady color. It's really nice when you use it with reds or pinks. You see, it's really nice that where you add those scratches with the translucent crayon, you see these lines coming through. And last, I add a bit of the Lunar Black, which is my #1 favorite Daniel Smith color. It's a highly granulating black, and it adds a very pretty, expressive, grainy texture. I often use it around figures to add a lot of contrast to my pages, because it's so granulating, you really don't get a very black blotch, because as soon as it touches the page, it starts granulating already. You see it happening here. And once dry, it doesn't really look like a black blotch anymore, but more as a grainy, dark shade of gray. But that's it. It's really easy, really fun, and yeah, I hope you like it. So this was the page that I created earlier, and this is what we did today. I hope you liked it. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and follow for more easy, fun art journaling and mixed media techniques. Ciao!